Welcome to our recovery day stretching workout. We're going to begin by rolling those shoulders backwards and then forwards. Continue to breathe throughout this entire exercise. Only push yourself as hard as you need to today. Remember, this is a recovery exercise. We're going to be breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Good. Forward now with those shoulder rolls. Your recovery days are really important, so make sure you are taking them and stretching at all times. Here we're bringing our knees to our chest and flexing our feet hard. I want you to engage your core at all times, especially here. You want to have that feeling as if you're preparing to be punched in the stomach. I'm adding these arm raises here just for additional challenge and warming up the body. You do not have to do this. If this feels like too much, you should just feel some activation in those lateral portion of the back. And now we're moving on to front crosses here. Same thing, keep that core engaged. Knees come up to your chest. You can slow down or speed up depending on your needs. Walk those feet out. We're going to go into a sumo squat, wide squat here. Arms raised while you squat down. Each time you squat, I want you to go a little bit deeper. Good. Planting those feet so that you're spreading your toes wide, pushing through those heels on the way up and squeezing the glutes. Continue to breathe. You inhale and exhale on the up. Inhale on the down. Exhale on the up. Just keep those arms moving. If that's too much, you can rest them down. We're going to move our head side to side for a nice roll here. You can see I start to lose my balance because I was not engaging my core. Take time as you roll your head. We do not want to have any jerky movements. For a deeper stretch on that neck, which often has a lot of tension, you're going to pull it to one side and reach the opposite arm in the opposite direction. Same thing here on the other side. Continue to breathe through all these movements. Really ensure that you are planting your feet in the ground and engaging that core. We're going to sweep our arms up to the sky, then find our way down to what I like to call a pencil position. You're going to stretch yourself as far down as you can. There's options to plant your hands on your thighs or your calves, whatever feels good for you. Sweep those arms back up and back down for an even deeper stretch. Make sure you find straight knees here, no bends. That's why we have the option to modify by placing our hands on our thighs or our calves. This should be your deepest stretch in this position right here. Continuing to breathe through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to walk our feet out to a wide straddled position. Hanging your head heavy in the center. Arms come down to the mat. Always have the option to grab onto those elbows, swinging side to side if that feels good. Just make sure the movement is smooth and not fast or jerky. Walk yourself over to your right side. And now your left. Continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keeping those knees straight, but not completely locked. Back, finding your way back to center for an even deeper stretch here. You're going to slowly roll on up, shake it out. At the top, we're going to come to a lunge position. I'm starting on my right side. Doesn't matter because we're going to do both sides wherever you want to begin. You're going to push that hip down, in this case, your left hip. Try to create a straight line from the top of your head to the bottom of your heel. It's really important to keep breathing through here. Now reach your arm up to the sky for a spinal twist here towards your front leg. This will give you a deeper stretch in those glutes and in the spine. Good, you're going to find your way back to that lunge and pike your hips up to the sky, bringing your nose to your toes. I like to say that versus nose to your knees, because if people do that, they often round their spine too much and hunch over. As you can see, I have some pretty tight hamstrings, so this stretch is challenging for even myself. If you have a yoga block, you can place your hands on that. A wider stance makes this exercise easier. We're going to find our way back to that lunge very quickly, then place that knee down to the ground, and this is where we're going to have a really deep hip flexor stretch. Some of our balance is needed for this exercise as well, so engage that core, sit up nice and tall, planting that front foot stable into the ground, pushing the hip down so you can stretch out those hip flexors, which often get neglected in stretches but are really, really tight. Plant your hand down, twist to the front. We're going to open up those hips just a little bit more, engage that core as we balance. You can flex or point the toe. You might find that pointing adds another stretch at the top of your foot, which can feel really good. You can use your right elbow in this case to push that leg back. You're going to find a deep center wide squat. I want you to push your knees away with your elbows and continue to breathe. There is no arch in my back here. It's hard for you to see, but that's something I do want you to think about. We're going to do this on the other side first. Good. As you see, I prefer to have a flex foot in this position, but you try out what works best for you. Remember, this is just your recovery day. We're going to go into that deep lunge here. Again, straight line from your head to your knee and through your heel. Keep that knee as straight as possible, pushing your heel into the ground for stability. Hip is down. Continue to breathe. We are going to take that spinal twist first here. Piking up, followed by the spinal twist. Good work. Keep breathing. You might notice one side is more flexible than the other. That's okay. For here, my left side is more flexible than my right. That has a lot to do with my strength. Going back to that lunge for a second, and now we can do that twist towards the back wall. You want your gaze to be at your wrist or your fingertips of the hand that is reaching. If you are shaking during this exercise, that's normal. You can always option to plant your back knee with that spinal twist. Here, we're going to continue to that deep hip flexor stretch. Engaging that core, breathing in and out, pushing those palms together to help you stabilize. We're going to come down on our bottom, and you're going to reach for those toes. Now for my runners, squatters, cyclists, you may find that this exercise or stretch is challenging if you have tight hamstrings, as myself. So stick in there, don't get discouraged. You're going to take a deep breath in and try to go for a deeper stretch. You have the option to flex or point your toes here. When pointing your toes, if it's not something you do very often, you will feel a stretch at the top of your feet and your ankles. We're going to go into what's a stereotypical runner stretch, so we can go a little bit deeper on the right and left sides here. Beginning with the left leg in this example, my goal is to create length, and I'm reaching for my toes. Here I'm showing you that I'm adding a point in here so I can elongate my leg and feel a nice stretch at the top of my foot. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Make sure you don't put your foot right on that knee, the one that's bending inwards, just so we don't put any extra pressure on the knee than is necessary. Play around with that flexed and pointed position. Whatever gives you that deeper stretch is the one I would suggest going with. You're going to bring your feet together for a traditional butterfly stretch. First, we're going to take big inhales and exhales and rounding out those spines before we flatten out our back for a deeper stretch. You're going to bring your nose to the floor, not to your toes, or if we do that, we have nice rounded spines, so we don't want that. Flat back, nose to the ground, push on those knees if you can to open up those hips. If just sitting in this position is enough for you, that's okay. You don't need to bring your torso down. Just sit here. I would recommend not flapping your butterfly wings as some do, as that can be harmful and actually hurt your muscles. We're going to do a nice glute twist here, crossing one leg over the other and then twisting in the opposite direction. So here my right leg is crossed over my left, and then my left arm comes over my body and I twist looking over my right shoulder. Same thing in the opposite direction. Often people complain about having stiff backs, and I would say 9 out of 10 times it is due to not stretching enough. I've yet to run into a client that is not able to solve some of their neck or back pains with simple at-home stretches for about 3 to 4 weeks. I love this one. This is a lying spinal twist. If you would like to, you can extend the top leg straight. So it's going to extend right from your knee. That's going to give you a deeper stretch. I didn't do that here, mostly for limited space. But essentially you're going to be creating like a 90-degree angle and you'll have an L shape with your legs. Perform the same movement on the other side, reaching the arm in the opposite direction. Head twists in the opposite direction of your torso. Continue to breathe, inhale and exhale. We're going to find our way to center, grabbing in those knees tightly, keeping our back flat, rocking back and forth. We are almost done here. Hopefully you are feeling warm, but not too hot, but definitely a lot looser. We're going into a yoga pose called Happy Baby. You might feel a little awkward here, but that's okay. Grabbing onto those big toes. The goal is to get those knees to the ground, opening up those hips just a little bit further, your hamstrings, your glutes. Inhaling and exhaling through this movement. If this is too difficult for you, just take a traditional seated straddle. Find your way back to squeezing onto those knees and come to a seated position. Take a moment of gratitude for your body. Inhale and exhale. Great work.